Come to Ecuador. Ecuador, it's a beautiful country that will always surprise you. Come to Galapagos and let the magic of the islands fill yourselves.
Welcome to the Adventure Life Travel Show, where we explore how travel educates us, inspires us, and changes us in ways we never expect. I'm Jason Maynard, and each episode we talk with the people who make adventure travel come alive. From the lodge owners and expedition leaders on the ground to expert trip planners who help travelers reach the world's most extraordinary places. Together, we'll uncover the stories behind the journeys, the moments that connect us, challenge us, and remind us why we travel. Today, I'm joined by Betty Jaramillo of Ecuador and Galapagos Trip Planners in Quito. How are you, Betty?
Hi, Jason. I'm so happy to join you on this show. I'm ready to share everything about Ecuador that I can in this time.
Excellent. We're so happy to have you. For many reasons. One, we have lots of people that go to Ecuador through Adventure Life. Two, I think you might be one of the, if not the longest partner with Adventure Life. And three, I'm going to learn a bunch myself about Ecuador, which I'm very excited to do. So we're going to start off with just a little simple knowledge. Ecuador is in the northern part of South America. It's over on the Pacific coast. And it sits, correct me if I'm wrong, between Colombia and Peru, right?
Correct. Yes, correct.
All right. And I can't say one of the many wonderful things is you claim it is mega diverse, which is a great word. I loved that you emailed it back to me. I'm like, oh, describe it in one word, mega diverse. And I bet that could mean everything from the animals and the plants to the people you meet along the way.
Exactly. When we talk about Ecuador, thinking about mega diverse is the first word that came to my mind. And as you said, not only in biology, but also in culture. Ecuador has a particularity to be in biodiversity between the 17 megadiverse countries in the world, but is still the smallest one. So if you're talking about that, it seems you can travel from one point to other and completely change your views, change the landscape, go from the coast to the Andes in a couple hours and things like that, and enjoy the food, breakfast in the jungle, lunch in the highlands, and maybe dinner in the coast. And that's how it goes. But mega diverse also in the people, because our geography is like up and down. And that makes that the different cultures got a little bit isolated in different parts. And this isolation that the geography gave them keep their cultural heritage for years and years until now. And we can share that with our visitors.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. So in this sense, being a little bit more remote or removed helped preserve their culture instead of becoming more homogenous. Yeah, I think that's great. I think it's great for people to get to explore and experience that. So let's talk some of the regions where people might go and what they might experience. Where shall we start?
You will usually hear that Ecuador is the country of the four worlds. Four worlds because we have the Galapagos Islands, the Amazon region, the Andes, and the coast. And each of these have their own culture, their own things, their own landscapes, completely different things. So there's a little bit of everything. So you said where you would like to start. We have a lot of clients going everywhere.
Yeah. Let's start at the top in the Andes, and we're going to work our way down to the coast before we hop over to the Galapagos.
Perfect.
How about that? So if we're starting at the top, we've got the Andes Mountains. And do I hear you have something called the Avenue of the Volcanoes?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool right
volcanoes. There. Just driving south of Quito, you have volcanoes at both sides of the highway. Volcanoes here are huge. We have the Cotopaxi is like 15,000 feet more or less. You have, and like that, we have many snow-capped ones that shows around the way. And in these Andes, you have the cultural between the people that speak Quechua, for example, that's a different language, and different dialects in different parts. And we have my favorite ones, the Haciendas. The
Why
Haciendas
is it
that
your
are,
favorite?
because I think you can travel anywhere in the world and find beautiful hotels, beautiful places that you can stay and have beautiful pools, for example. But these haciendas are 300 years old, located in the Andes, keep the essence of the hacienda, and that makes them special. But we also have other modern ones that keep the straw in the roofs, that make them a cozy place within the mountains. Like, for example, the Hacienda del Porvenir. The Hacienda del Porvenir is one of our favorite ones that is run by a very nice, very kind family that is willing to talk with our clients, that they receive them like part of the family, and the family is involved with community close from them. That's one example for you.
Well, how did you meet a family-run little place high up in the mountains and partner with them to get our clients or people from out of the country to experience this? How did you just start knocking on doors to say hi? Can strangers sleep at your house?
Actually, we are fortunate that here people start thinking that they have these special properties and they decide they want to share it with the world. And that allow us to go to these places. For example, other hacienda that I can think about is Pinsaqui. Pinsaqui has more than 350 years in family. And since we started with Adventure Life 20 years ago, we are negotiating and been in contact now with the third generation. We start
Wow.
talking with the grandparent. That was great. And she loved the horses and go inside the hacienda rooms with the horses. It was very special. And then became the son. That was so nice. And he discovered different things. But now the grandson is running the hacienda and trying to make it a little bit more modern to meet the expectations of the actual passengers. So to see that transitions in these old properties had been a very special journey, and to share it with our clients.
Yeah. Well, um, give me a little anecdote about what a client finds when they're staying at a 350-year-old hacienda way up in the Avenue of the Volcanoes.
For example, the walls surprise you because here there were no heaters or things to cool down the places. So walls maybe around a meter wide. So if you have an idea, these haciendas have special rooms for each place. The rooms are huge. So these are kind of things that you don't find in a regular hotel. And
Yeah.
they are part of the Andes. They are in the middle of respecting nature around. It's not just the building, but it's also the nature, the gardens, the water around that make these places special.
I bet with the giant rooms, some people showed up thinking they were going to have some tiny little hovel and have to sleep in a corner. And they've got these massive rooms and huge walls. Um, did anybody have to, go look around and go, where's the thermostat to change the temperature?
Yeah, I think things happen, but now there's some modernity and they will give you options because always there's an option for you. Heat is never a problem in this area because the walls allow the low temperature. But if it is a little bit cold, they will turn up a fireplace for you or give you a hot bottle of water for your bed
Oh,
or things like that. Special details that everyone will take care that the passenger feels comfortable and enjoy their time in this old place.
lovely. And you are around all these volcanoes and such up in the Andes. What do? You hike? Do you go check things out? Do you go to the edge of a volcano and stare down? Do you tell me? Yeah.
Yeah, the region is wide. The Andes in Ecuador runs from north to south, from border to with Colombia to the border in Peru. And in different areas, you have different sites that you can go hiking, sightseeing, or just merging with the communities and get involved with them. It's, for example, I was talking with Clara, one of your agents this week, and she was telling me that her clients were more interested in communities. And I was saying, of course, we will do the tour as clients prefer. And that's, I think it's our difference between anyone else. We don't create an itinerary that you have to do this with the schedules, no? Go and explore. Of course, with our guides, they will be your translators, the experts, they know the people. But go and explore. Go inside the workshop. See how they embroider things.
Oh, yeah.
Learn. If you want, you can learn how to do these kind of things with the people. People in Ecuador is still kind, is still welcoming. So anywhere you go in all the country, really, but in the Andes mainly, they will want to show you what they eat, how they dress, how they prepare their things. And you get to see them and get to become part of their families for a while. During
Oh,
that
that's
short
nice.
visit, then you receive what you mean when you travel. Educate yourself, change your mind, and understand that there are different ways to see the same things with the different eyes.
Exactly. Travel opens up doors not only when we're out and about, but it opens up doors in our brains. It lets us see things exactly in a new light. How a person in the Andes views the same thing you're looking at in a totally different way.
Yes, and they always will surprise you. One thing that happened to me once, I had these little balls that goes in the eyes all the time, coming and going. I don't know the name of that, but it was bothering me. And I went into one of these communities, and then I found a lady that was kind of the witch doctor of the community. She saw me and she said, "Oh, you have this problem and it is bothering you for a while already. Okay." She gave me, "You have to do this, this, this." And since then, I have no problem anymore. So this is things
Whoa.
because you just get in and the people have a different knowledge. And from plants and herbs and things that change. I never expected, but they always have something to surprise you.
Travel always has something to surprise you. And I love pleasant surprises. Those are
Yeah.
the best kinds when you're traveling. It's great. I might have to come down, let the witch doctor take a look at me and all my ailments, but
Who knows?
because there's too many sometimes. Well, I love all that. Wow. Now, did I read that there's actually a town, I'm assuming it's in the Andes, called Baños because it have all the
Mhm.
hot baths, the thermal baths?
Yes, fun place.
It's
Banyas.
I find it funny because Baños means, we would North Americans probably assume it means bathroom, but that's not quite right. But this is a place to go and like soak in thermal baths on the side of a mountain.
Imagine this. You're in a country full of active volcanoes, surrounded everywhere. So what do the volcanoes do? They have heat. And the water is heat below and come up to 40 degrees in some places. Depending on the place you go, for example, Baños, water have some sulfur in it that have special properties. In Papayacta, water is clear. It have a different kind of minerals. In the northern, from Pimampiro, the water is really dark because it has iron. So yes, if bathing in hot thermal springs is your thing, we can create a whole package for that. And in Baños, you can combine the hot springs with adventure because Baños is a little cozy town in the
Yeah.
middle of mountains, surrounded completely. It's a town surrounded by mountains around. But there you have waterfalls, so many. You have rivers. You have mountains, you can hike, you can do many things, or even jump from bridges if there's someone interested in do so. They can sign there and jump.
Oh, bungee jumping.
Yes, pointing we call it here. It's a
What do
little
you
bit
call it?
different. Pointing, because you don't
Pointing.
jump in vertical, but they put the rope in one side of the bridge. You jump from the other side. So when you jump, you bounce instead of going down.
Oh,
It's fun.
okay. Have you done this?
Yes. Once, and I will
Oh,
never do it again. It is check on my list.
that's all. Hey, you've done it. You can make the
I
check mark. There you
done.
go.
Had
I
fun.
I agree. I agree. You've done it. Now you know what it is all about. Wow, you could go and do all those fun
Yeah.
hiking and tell me that word again. Plunging,
Pointing, we call it.
puenting,
Yeah.
puenting. And if your muscles get sore, you've got all the thermal baths right there to recover. That's brilliant.
Yes. And at your time, because that's what we try when Ecuador, I think Ecuador is a cozy place. And that's why we try to make it as flexible as possible. So if a passenger comes and they said, okay, I want to do this, and we can accommodate, and we want to create a journey for everyone, not just something that you need to follow, but just come, enjoy, relax, go to the bad springs, jump if you want, but just enjoy Ecuador.
That's great. Yeah, that's one of the things that you know the Adventure Life trip planners always like. We can customize to whatever you're wanting. And
Exactly.
Ecuador, I think, has so much that at times it's overwhelming to people. They're like, "Oh, I can do what?" And they're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "This," and they just keep rattling off all these because I hear them talking sometimes. And I was like, "Wow, that's a lot." Wow. Well, should we? Do we have more on the Andes to do, or should we move to a new region?
We can let me think. Yes, in the Andes communities, it's
Oh, the communities.
important.
Are there like
The
festivals in the
volcanoes,
mountains that are different from?
festivals. Yes, there are all the times there are festivals. For example, last week I went to Otavalo with my group of friends. We went to explore. We want to see the lake. So we went near the lake to just enjoy the water. And we found a wedding by the lake from a indigenous group. And they invited us to the wedding. And we ended up jumping in the middle of a road with everybody inviting us to join. And that's what you find. So yes, there's many things. There's festivals from little particular family ones to big community ones. We have things all year round.
And they sound so welcoming too. That's
Yes,
fantastic.
they are.
Oh, lovely. All right. What about should we go all the way to the Amazon now?
Perfect. The Amazon.
Yeah.
The Amazon in Ecuador have a little bit of a trick.
Oh,
You can drive from Quito to the Amazon, and I will say the start. Baños, for example, was considered the door of the jungle because from there you start going down, and then suddenly you find like a rock full of green and wildlife and these little noises around for the animals. And here, as you're going down the Andes, water runs fast and your senses are full of noises from water falling and waterfalls around. But then you can continue or you can fly from Quito a little bit deeper where the waters get calm again and they become like a tea. They are brown because the leaves fall in the rivers, turning the water brown. But the wildlife then grows and you can see much more wildlife inside. And you can go to lodges not just to see the trees from the below part up, but you can go in towers or bridges or special things to see the canopy from the top.
yeah. I've heard about these observation towers in the
Yeah.
Amazon. So these are like near or connected to some of the jungle lodges where you can then climb up and have a view of the Amazon from above the jungle canopy. And I'm guessing there's layers. Like you could go back down and see the mid layer or right
It
underneath.
is it is so interesting because the canopy is closed. So when you walk in a primary forest, when you walk down the forest, down the canopy, you just see a few plants growing. It's not like people think that it will be kind of bushes everywhere. The canopy don't allow little plants to go down, so it's kind of clean underneath. Then you have the canopy in different stages. And then from up the canopy, you see all the birds going from one side to another. So
Oh,
going to the jungle has different levels. You can enjoy the river, you can enjoy the lake and the animals in the lake, caimans maybe, river otters or things like that. But you can also have the monkeys in the trees. We have in my last trip to the Amazon, I may saw 8 different kind of monkeys during the trip, and they are
8.
just different species.
Yeah,
In
8
one,
different species.
yeah, in one of the canoe rides, for example, going in the river, we just stay there for maybe an hour, just watching the monkeys jumping from one side to the other while the river otters were swimming around. That things happen. And then the
Yeah.
birds. The birds are colorful, beautiful, and the night everything changes. You can
Oh, it's a
see
whole different world, huh?
yes, you can see eye caimans, the spiders, frogs for all colors, and you can go hiking with your guides to explore a different world. So yes, just going to the Amazon have many things so you can go and explore your senses.
So, if you were to take a hike during the day with your guide and do a trail that was, say, near one of the lodges you were staying
Mhm.
at and saw various jungle animals and came back and had a rest and a nice dinner, and then it got dark, and then you went back out with your guide and walked the exact same trail, but at night, would you even know you were walking in the same footsteps, or would it be like a
Not at all.
completely like you're in a whole different world?
Yes, because color and sounds. When you go at night, I think that's the most interesting thing to hear all the sounds. Now there's people buying these black special white sounds or something like that machines to sleep. Okay, you
Oh
go
yeah.
there in the middle of that where it was recorded. So you have all these frog noises around.
Go right to the source. There you go.
Exactly. Well, sometimes last time I went, I had a monkey eating over my hut and leaving the seeds in my hut. It was not so fun. It is part of it. They are all around.
There are some naughty monkeys out there. Yeah.
Can happen.
Um, yeah. What is the favorite animal encounter you've had when you've been in the Amazon?
There are too many. But I think the river otters, they are so cute. And just
Oh,
watching
they
them
are cute.
playing, and yes, that was a special that we just stayed there for a while. But also in a river cruise, we went down to see the pink dolphins. And that
That
blew
was
my
on my
mind.
list to ask you about the pink river dolphin.
Yes, they are there. And it's like you think, okay, it will be good. But when you see them, it's much better than you expect. Always. They are
Really?
beautiful. They are special size and they are really pink and jump and they are around. It's so cute.
See, I think my younger daughter would be fast. I know she's fascinated by otters, so she would love the otters. My older daughter, everything pink. So a dolphin's already cute. You make it pink, she's going to love that. I mean, that's a win-win right there. It's the family is all
That's the
happy all of a
place.
sudden.
The place to go.
The place to go. Wow. Um, the logistics of getting in and out of the Amazon. You just said you could drive or fly from Quito. So it sounds like it's not too difficult.
No, it is not. Actually, well, no. I will say that I admire logistics in the Amazon and I admire logistics in the Galapagos Islands. It's really special what they do there. That's why it's so important for us to find the best partners so they can manage this kind of logistics and our passengers never feel it. They just feel it so smoothly. But behind the scenes, you have an army running around, bringing things and preparing everything and repairing things.
I love that. It's one of the things when I talk to clients, I'm like going, you get to kind of shut off that part of your brain. You don't have to worry about when do we need to be here? Do we need to do this? And like someone's going to come and just say, hey, tomorrow morning, do this, do this. We'll take care of everything.
Exactly.
And if something isn't going quite right, the clients may not know because all those people running around are going to get it right. Um,
Exactly.
that's what helps make a vacation really more relaxing when you're in a far off place where logistics can be a very big hurdle. When you don't have to worry about them and you get to concentrate on the experiences, the people you're meeting, the animals you're seeing, and being surrounded by all this incredible nature, that helps make the vacation all that more special.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something that I consider is that sometimes you hear a negative experience from someone, but when you check a little deep inside, you realize, well, we with our expertise, we realize immediately that it was just a bad decision with whom they went. That's why we try to be so careful on choosing the operators that we work with, the places we work for our clients, to make sure that experience will be positive as we expect.
I don't want to pick on anybody, but have you got not a catastrophic problem, but something that turned out kind of funny? Possibly not funny to the people at the time, but something that just kind of went sideways for folks that you've heard about from somebody else.
Yes, of course. In 20 years, many things happened. We've seen many operators coming and going. But I think uh, one that I remember and makes me mad every time I think about it is of I don't remember an operator that used to sell a program, and they had a great marketing. It looks amazing, and they gave all these things, and then Brian, the company owner, and my husband decide, okay, well, let's go to check how it is going. And they went because it was perfect before we sent passengers. And then when they came back, I remember the day they came back by my house door, holding bags of an apple and a bag of chips. And they said, okay, we had been eating 3 days this.
Oh no.
It was awful. That happens. And well, of course, it was a miss.
Yeah, that's rough. That's why you got to have the scouting party go and handle that stuff and figure it out.
Yes.
Yes. Oh wow. All right. Um, Now, where in relation would you find the cloud forest? Is it between the Andes and the Avenue of the Volcanoes and the Amazon? And tell me what a cloud forest is because it sounds really cool.
The cloud forest, it's special. The cloud forest, we call it, it's so similar. The kind of vegetation is very deep, very green, a lot of water, but the altitude is what defines the cloud forest from the rainforest.
Ah, okay.
And as we're talking about the Andes, we're talking the Andes is here, cloud forest is around here, and the Amazon here. And we have cloud forest at both sides, to the jungle and to the coast.
All right. So, for those who aren't watching, the cloud forest is in between the Amazon at the bottom and the Andes at the top. And this is just a good reminder. If anybody has any questions for us, feel free to put some questions or comments in the chat, or please email us at travelshow@adventurelife.com, travelshow@adventurelife.com, or throw a comment in there. One of us will get back to you with an answer. If I don't know it, Betty, I'm going to be hunting you down to get the
We'll
answers.
be ready.
All right. There you go. So cloud forests.
The
These
cloud
are so
forest.
it's in between in terms of elevation, but the water,
Water is
it's
clear because it just left the Andes. So the
ah
water is a little bit clear, it's faster. It moves a little bit faster. You will find more waterfalls around. And also in this area, you find a lot of hummingbirds, for example, or
oh
butterflies. Did you know Ecuador have, I think, like 6,000 different kind of butterflies?
wow.
So you can actually get to experience be close to the butterflies. Or I remember some photos that Kevin one of your travel agents had when he came, holding his hand and the hummingbird just flying around. And you can
Really?
see
Right
it
like that?
from this close.
Oh, wow.
That's the cloud forest. It's full of life. You can even find, I had passengers that saw a bear, the
A bear?
spectacled bear.
Oh,
Bear?
yes, the spectacled bear. Yeah.
Yeah, we have it. And we had passengers that saw it. Kevin actually saw it in the cloud forest. They
Huh.
are close by. And so the
Wow.
light is there, and the orchids and plants and the
The
views.
orchids, that was on my list. There's like 2,400 different species of orchids, which is just mind boggling, just in Ecuador. Oh, and for those of you not watching, they just pulled an orchid into the frame to show us,
Yes, we
which is
have
gorgeous.
beautiful ones.
Are the orchids, is the cloud forest, is that a great area for orchids? Because if
Yes,
they have hummingbirds and butterflies, it seems like
yes. Yes, there
that
are
would be a great
times
place.
of the year when even you are driving around our highways and you will find walls of orchids by
Wow.
you while driving.
Walls.
Yes, you have
Oh,
so many. You can't count them because they're all around. Yeah.
and do they live from the Amazon cloud forest up into the Andes all the way?
They are all around. In some forests you will find it, but the best place is around the cloud forest area.
It is the cloud forest. Okay.
Mhm.
That's what I
But
thought.
you can find them in other places and in haciendas and houses because in Ecuador we love flowers.
It's a wonderful thing. My wife loves flowers. I think she loves flowers and volcanoes. The kids are, already on the animals. It looks like we need a family vacation to
You
Ecuador,
need
Betty.
to come.
Oh, look at there.
It's your place, Jason.
Yeah. So the cloud forest, does the cloud forest also have lodges with observation towers, or are those mainly in the Amazon area?
There are a couple ones, but in the cloud forest, the vegetation is not as deep,
So it's
as
not as
that
necessary.
close. So you
Okay.
just get to a viewpoint and you will have a great experience.
Ah,
Mhm.
fantastic. So is the hiking easier or harder in the cloud forest
Because of the
compared to the
altitude, you may feel it a little bit more, but
than in the
it's not
Amazon?
complicated. Yes, in the
Okay,
Amazon, you're completely low, so you won't feel altitude at all. In the cloud forest, sometimes you may feel it a little bit more, but it's
okay,
not complicated. It's
gotcha.
there are hikes for everyone.
That's the other thing. Yes, you can kind of, you guys are big hikers. You guys look like you're more relaxed. We're going to go this way for the relaxed hikers, that way for the uh, gung ho people who are, you know, could
Yes.
tramp off into the forest for a week and think they could be just fine. That's not me, by the way. I need
When
a
my
bed.
family, when I go with my family to the Amazon, for example, half of my family go relaxing and kayaking in the lake, while half of my family go deep in the jungle for a 3-4 hours hike in the middle.
Which
And
one are
everybody's
you?
happy. I go
Yeah.
hiking because my daughter can't go alone.
All right. Very nice. Um, well, should we move on from the cloud forest?
Sure.
Yeah. Do you want to go on to the coastal areas or do you want to talk cities?
Let's talk cities,
Let's talk
culture.
cities. Yeah, we
Yes.
haven't got into the cities yet.
Yes. I think when you visit Ecuador, uh, the most regret we find is that a lot of our clients come to see the Amazon or come to see the Galapagos and they skip the city. When you come to Quito, when just the time they land, they realize, oh wow, it is huge. There are so many mountains and the volcanoes are around. So it's kind of, it is a typical regret of a passenger that didn't book anything. And sometimes we can accommodate things, but sometimes it's too late to make it.
Too late to make the changes.
Yes.
Because
And it's
well,
amazing that.
you've got, I probably shouldn't even try and count the number of museums you've got there. Um, there's a famous marketplace. I'm going to probably not get the great name. And Otavalo, is that the
Otavalo?
market?
Yes,
Otavalo?
correct.
Great for Andean culture and crafts. Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah.
culture and everything around. You even have lakes inside a crater of a volcano around there. We can
Right
combine
around Quito.
an hour and a half out of Quito.
Oh,
So that's why Quito is, for my personal view, the perfect way to start because you have everything around. Go to the Otavalo market. It's an hour and a half and you can explore. You can mix culture with nature, with people, with animals, a little bit of everything. And you can go south and go to the highest volcano, that is the Cotopaxi, a perfect cone, a snow-capped one that you can actually see from Quito, but get in the reserve, getting close to it, and even hike up the refuge to see the snow. It's amazing. And that's
wow.
also an hour and a half out.
Easy drive. Can make that.
Easy. You can do it
Yeah.
for a full day and then come back to Quito. It's like Quito's here and you can go up one day to the markets, down one day to the volcano, east one day to the waterfalls and in the cloud forest. And then the other day go, sorry, that's west. And then go east to a little bit of the hot springs or
Oh,
jungle area. So there are many
lots
alternatives
to do right
to do.
outside of Quito. Okay.
Yes. And
Yeah.
just the city, as we were talking about the cities. Quito is the first city declared a World Cultural Heritage Site. Go
And why was it declared a cultural heritage site?
Is the biggest and best conserved historical area in South America. It's not a couple blocks. It is several blocks full of churches. There's a church with more than 10. There's a street with so many churches around. Our churches, many of them are filled with gold,
Oh,
fine gold on the altar pieces. The decorations from the facades, the squares, the museums, the viewpoints of the city in this kind of valley to see from the top. Oh, take the cable car to go up the mountain.
oh,
There are many
lovely.
alternatives. That's why we change things. Before, we used to sell like a city tour or an equator or things like that. That's our characteristic. Now we offer our clients time. How long would you like to spend in our city? 3 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours? Let's explore. And then when you're exploring, let's go to a market. Let's
Yeah.
go to see the witch doctor in the market. Or the fruits, sometimes they are surprised and just being in the middle of the market with all these plants going around and blowing and singing. Yeah,
You
so
never
it
know what you're going to
depends.
come across in the market.
Exactly, and just enjoy. The idea we have is that Quito is a city to enjoy. That's it.
Excellent.
Depend on your
Excellent.
time, what we will find.
Is there a pedestrian walkway in Quito? Is it in Quito?
Yes.
Malas, I'm
Yes, we
going to
have
mispronounce it. The
streets that
Malasan?
are close.
Yeah. Malasan?
The Malecon?
Malacon.
Maybe we're talking about Guayaquil in the coast. They
Maybe
have a
Guayaquil.
Malecon. Yes, they have a Malecon by the river where people can walk and enjoy and relax.
I love
But
it when cities decide to close off some streets to traffic and let the pedestrians take back over.
yeah,
It
Quito
really
also have
brings,
pedestrian areas and Cuenca have pedestrian areas to enjoy.
oh, that really kind of brings a city to life, I think, when you're out of the vehicle walking around and you can experience. And it's not just seeing it at a slower pace, it's hearing it, it's smelling it. The whole thing.
Try an ice cream if it is hot. Try our local coffee if it is cold.
Oh.
And just leave the city.
Oh, all right.
In Cuenca also. Cuenca is in the south of the country and also World Cultural Heritage Site. A lot of people compare it kind of an European style city. So cozy, so welcoming, and full of these squares that people can walk and feel free to explore. It's really beautiful.
Very nice.
Uh-huh.
And you've got Inca ruins in Ecuador as well, right?
Yes. Not as Peru, but we do have Inca ruins. We have pre-Inca ruins because,
Pre-Inca.
yes, we have
Oh, look at
community.
that. You've topped them a little bit.
Yes,
Nice.
yes. There's, for example, in Cuenca,
In
there
Cuenca.
is one space that have marks of different stages from pre-Inca cultures to Inca ones, everything in there. So you can actually see how things, why Ecuador is have this huge cultural array of things, because there were many things happening along the history. So you can find all these sites around. The bigger one is
Oh,
in
lovely.
Gapirca. In Gapirca, one of my favorite memories is going there to see the sunset in the stones. And it's an Inca temple that I cannot describe. You have to go there and feel it, but it has a special energy that when you go in, it just feels good. It's special.
And you say you went there because you wanted to see the sunset there.
It was a
Was the
coincidence when I
was the
was there.
temple built for the sunsets?
Normally here, they consider sun and the moon as major part of the architectonic
Ah,
distributions.
okay.
So you actually, when you get there, you feel it.
Okay. I thought that might be something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go from pre-Inca ruins down to the coast. All right.
Yeah.
Now, I'm betting you get some great seafood along the coast.
Seafood is my favorite, and you can try it all over the country. In the mainland, we have amazing restaurants because, as I was telling you, just driving a fish from the coast to Quito may take the fastest one is about 3 hours and a half, 4 hours.
Oh,
So we have really fresh seafood all over. I
very
recommend
nice.
everyone tries seafood in Ecuador. And yeah, the coast is magnificent. And there are places that you can do whale watching. That will be the
Oh,
highlight in there. From
would
June
that
to
be
September,
humpback whales?
humpback whales
And from when to
come
when?
in. From June to September, they come to Ecuador to dance. And you can see them jumping out of the water. Sometimes you can even see them from the coast. And then you can also go and take a boat and go around to see them. Yeah. So
Oh,
the
nice.
coast have also their special magic.
Lovely. Do y'all have any surfing in Ecuador?
We have surfing, especially around the Montañita area, and we have championships taking place around here. So we have good waves.
Really? Oh, you got the
Yes.
waves. Wow. So, um, surfing, seafood, whale watching. Seems like that's all you
Sound.
need, except for the fact that Ecuador also has the Galapagos.
Yes. Let's jump to the islands.
Let's jump to the islands. Now, they are more than just a couple of little islands. There's a lot of them and there's a lot going on. And there's no way we can get through all of that. I'm going to ask you a hard question.
Ready.
What's your favorite spot in the Galapagos and why?
Okay. That is super hard.
I knew it.
Because when you ask favorite spots, it's like my mind is blowing, like, and brighten everywhere, thinking of places. But if I have to choose one personal one, would be Española.
Española.
Galapagos is my happy place in
Ah,
general. But Española have something that can't be found anywhere else. That is the bird I love, and it's the albatross.
okay.
So that's why I will pick Española. Because Galapagos, as I was telling you, I will pick 101. But I love the albatross. It is magnificent. It's a huge bird that
Yeah.
dance. When they are in the Galapagos, they come to mate. They come to take care of their little babies. So they come and dance and they just show their magnificence. There's an area in there in the Galapagos, in the Española island, that you hike up, and from the top of this, call it acantilado in Spanish, unless it's
That's
like
fine.
Yeah. So from the top of the acantilado, these huge birds
Yeah.
run from the land and just jump down. And in the middle, they open the wings and keep on flying. And I think that for me, it just makes me happy. It makes me smile immediately, and I can keep that memory for a lifetime. But also, they have a beautiful beach, and
Yeah.
it's the elder island in the Galapagos. So now it's covered in green and vegetation, but you still see the lava rocks in the way. It
I
still feels Galapagos. It's perfect.
I want there to be a boat named the Dancing Albatross now that you've described it. I think that would be perfect, right? Because all boats have names. So why not the Dancing Albatross? Because I've only seen them soaring, with their giant wingspans and flying around. And once in a while, maybe I see one land someplace. I've never seen them dance and show off. That's much less fling themselves off a cliff and just fall down before they open their wings.
And imagine them dancing, chucking their beaks and just making noise between
Oh,
two of them. That's that's a spectacular thing to see.
all right. Um, I hear that you have spotted, speaking of boats, some ways to get to the Galapagos. You can take boats or you can go fly over and go by land and do some land tours. If you go by boat, there's apparently a few operators, some boats that you may not want to be on because you've seen how they get around the safety inspections, I'm told.
This is a super hard question to answer. But
No
yes,
names. You don't have to say any names,
no.
but you have witnessed this, right?
Yes, unfortunately, this is something that may happen, but that's why we're here to not to avoid going that way when we book our trips. So we try to find partners that we can trust. I think in the Galapagos, what is so important to mention is that the national park does an amazing job. I think I admire them so much because they take care of the permissions, even the itineraries. So we don't have, okay, there's a good site. Everybody want to go on a Tuesday to the site and you find 100 boats they're going.
Yeah.
No, no, no. It
No good.
doesn't happen in the Galapagos. In the Galapagos, the national park create a system to allow that just a couple boats go to each side every time. So it doesn't matter. There are more than 70 boats in the Galapagos. In one side, you will find just a couple small ones. And if it's a big one, just maybe one in the side. So you can actually go and enjoy what you're seeing. And then also safety, it's part of it. Because if a ship is not complaining, we feel that the safety, when you go in the boat, just that they didn't have the regular things because there was something going, it's kind of an alarm for us and say, okay, let's take our view to the other
Yeah.
side. it's it's just a coincidence. No, this must be everything
It's one of
set.
those things people just want to know everything's been checked, everything's up to regulation, everything's fine, that I don't need to worry about it. And they shouldn't, because if they're working with reputable folks, they know they've been checked out.
Yes.
And that's where we know that you have been checking them out. And I don't think you want to tell the story, Betty. I think you're reluctant. I've heard the story. I'm not sure. I'm going to go ahead and say it. If we have to edit this, we will. I heard that the life jackets on some boats get passed around. So not every boat has life jackets when they come around for their safety inspection. And certain people know which boats do this and they know which boats don't do this. And that's just the first indicator on, well, they need to take care of all the safety inspections. And if that's the first one they're jumping over, that's not a good sign.
I,
Again, I'm not having you name any names. We're not in the business of shaming anyone.
yeah, and it is important that we trust our partners,
Yes,
because when you trust, they won't do things like that. So
you've got a
that's the
relationship
base.
with them.
Yes, that's the base. I think the base of selling our cruises in the Galapagos is because we trust the people we are working with. If
Yes,
we feel at some point that something like that may happen with someone, we won't stop selling one ship, but any ship they will represent, just
yeah.
to be super sure that this won't happen.
It's it's just a level of comfort you have sending people out with them, knowing if anything were untoward to happen, right? And usually doesn't, but that's why safety's there, right? If anything does happen, they know what to do. They have the equipment. It's all been checked like that. And it's one of those, it's a hard comfort level. You want to just, it, you know what? If people have more questions about this, put a comment in the chat or email us at travelshow@adventurelife.com. We'd be happy to talk about it. Um, just know safety is very important with all of our clients and with all of our partners. Betty makes sure of that. So travelshow@adventurelife.com or jump in the chat and let us know any questions you might have about that. So if the albatross and Hispaniola is your favorite, have some people been surprised? I assume most people do some reading and research before they show up in the Galapagos, but I bet there's some people that show up and are just blindsided by what they find.
Completely, all the time. It's like they know animals will be so close. It's like people expect animals to be close. And then they arrive and they need to take care they don't step on iguana on their way.
It's right
Because,
there.
yes, it's right there. Yes, that's true. So, yes, it happens.
And
That's
you can snorkel, or if you're certified scuba dive, I'm assuming in the Galapagos.
both. You can
Yep.
do a snorkeling and scuba dive. And the snorkeling, it's amazing. I was in the Galapagos 15 days ago, and I went snorkeling in Floriana in the Devil Crown. That's my favorite site for snorkeling, by the way.
Okay.
There are a lot of currents going around. You are swimming in warm waters, and then a cold shower just washes you in the middle. But that's one of the reasons why we have that biodiversity under the water. And this time, for example, I was snorkeling and I had three sharks of 1.5 meters, just 2 meters out of me,
Mm.
just swimming and enjoying. And three more down in the sand, just landing there. And yes, and the, and I think I saw all the fishes I could see in the Galapagos. Or going with the tortoises that are amazing to see underwater. They are beautiful out of water, but when they are swimming, they are
Much more
magical.
elegant. Yeah.
Yes. They are like free spirits going around. You feel it.
And you mentioned the iguanas. Are those the iguanas that go swimming in the ocean in the
Yes, you
Galapagos?
have both. You can swim with you can find swimming with the one at any time, and they are just going there, and sometimes they just hold a rock and start eating in front of you and in underwater. That's an amazing show.
Oh
And you see
wow.
also the land iguanas that are huge, and they are around the land, and they are great, kind of different colors. We have the pink and the yellow ones, and they are interesting because when there's a lot of food, they grow, and when there's no food, they shrink. And you can see all these things. I was with my son this last time in the Galapagos, and we were in the boat. And at night, when the boat turned the lights on, there were flying fishes around the boat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the flying fishes, you can actually see them flying out of the water for a couple meters and going back the water again. And that was a show by itself. But then sharks came. And we had like 20 sharks each side of the boat just waiting to fish the fishes. And my son was telling me, Mom, I feel like I'm in the middle of the best documentary I've ever seen.
Just need Sir Written Attenborough narrating what's going on while he's watching, right?
Yes. That makes it a special place because I always say it in the Galapagos, you never know really what you're going to see. You can make a trap and you can know there in these places there are penguins sometimes. In these places you can see iguanas and things like that. But it never will really match what you will see because Galapagos always will have something to surprise you. And feel it and be in the middle of that will always feel magical.
Magical. Well, nature's always full of surprises. It's very unpredictable. So, not that part's not surprising, but nature definitely is. So, we could probably talk about the Galapagos for another hour.
Yes.
But it's
Side by
just,
side.
yeah, it's one of those things I think people should experience. Don't you, Betty?
Yes, definitely. Just lay down in the beach by a sea lion. Good enough.
Yeah. We didn't say cuddle a sea lion. We said just lay down by the sea lion. There's a difference. No cuddling.
Yes.
Right. Well, can you tell me the story how you and Adventure Life's founder, Brian, got together and figured out how to start getting people to experience Ecuador? That's kind of how I'd like to kind of wrap things up, I think. Figure out how all this started.
I love that story, to tell that story to people because before I work with Adventure Life, I worked with different companies, tourist companies, with different mentalities and special things. But the last one I was on, I found out that women got less payment than men.
Oh.
And it was, for me, it was a shock. I had people working as my assistants, and they made more money than I did in the company because they were men. So I quit immediately. And Brian said, okay, hey, I know you were doing this, and where did you went? What are you going to do? And I said, okay, I was starting a little company with friends, trying to start all over again. And he said, okay, I have a proposal. Work with me. Let's create something special. And his proposal for me was perfect. And because I had a daughter, my daughter was around 3 years old at the time. And he said, one of the things that I really want is that you stay with your daughter. That's completely blown my mind. It was special. It made me realize how a good person he was. And okay, of course, with the years, I learned so many things about an amazing human being that I had to work with. And he said, trust me. I was a little bit worried because he said, okay, I had just little clients going to Ecuador now.
Yeah.
But let's try it. Let's work it out. And we found a ways. We create a company of trust, basically. When we said, okay, companies gave me rates and companies said, okay, should I give you the rate or to Adventure? I said, give it both. We know each other exactly what we're doing here. So feel free to talk with us or to talk with them. We negotiate and the negotiation is with both. And we create this system with Brian and everybody in the market was saying, oh, why are you doing this? Nobody do things like that. Why? It would last a couple of years at most. And it was like 25 years ago, maybe.
I think so. Like I said, I need to dig a little further and see if you are the original partner with Adventure Life that Brian founded and started the company with. I think if you're not, you're really, really close to being the first one.
Yes, I think I'm close. I may be first or second, I think.
First or second.
But
Either
yes,
way, we're very lucky that Brian found you and called you when you left and set this up. So
I had been so lucky. It had been an amazing journey that when we start, I think I have a picture there of the beginning of the company. Like we were
Oh, nice.
like a couple people. I remember Mary from the beginning almost, one of your agents, and I love her so
Yeah.
much. And then a lot of people had been adding. Now we have a lot of the company is huge, but it still have that special feeling that sometimes when our partners tell us, ask me, okay, you're working with this company, tell me, and I'm negotiating, and I always say, you're working with Adventure Life. You can trust them. That's it. Give them the best option for their clients. Take care of their clients because they need to trust you, but you can trust them for sure.
That's one of the things I know the trip planners that work with you appreciate. Like they gain the trust of our clients because they know that they're going to send their clients down and they're going to be in good hands. And
Yes.
we appreciate all that you do and all that you've done in the past and a lot that you're going to do for us in the future. So if anybody's interested in learning more about Ecuador or have questions for us, jump in that chat or email us at travelshow@adventurelife.com. Betty, do you have any parting words for us? Or now that we've kind of given the origin of our collaborations, we're ready to get out there and go?
I will tell you, come to Ecuador. Ecuador, it's a beautiful country that will always surprise you. Come to Galapagos and let the magic of the islands fill yourselves. I promise that when you come to Ecuador and the Galapagos, you will have something special with you when you go down. The memories for a lifetime.
Well said. Well said. Betty, thank you so much for being with us today. I appreciate your time. Thanks to everybody for listening. This is a podcast for anyone who wants to go on an adventure, for those ready to travel the world. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts for new episodes every month and see our full catalog at adventurelife.com. Now get out there and go.